Right, we're here with Paul Winters after a 27-13 loss to Tiffin. Coach, as always, an opening statement.
Yeah, we played pretty good defense. We did not play any offense for a very long time, and when we did, we turned the ball over to prevent ourselves from scoring touchdowns. So it was a pretty disgusting game to watch and be a part of. The worst thing that I think we did was we lowered ourselves to a level that is not acceptable, where you have, I don't know how many unsportsmanlike penalties, and I think every single one of the unsportsmanlike penalties was a reaction to something that was done to them. But I don't care what they do to you. Take their 15-yard penalties. And I asked the team, if we have 4, 5, or 6 unsportsmanlike penalties that are, back and forth, what if we had 4, 5, or 6 15-yard penalties against them? What difference does that make? So we can't lose our discipline, and we can't be a team that reacts like that to teams playing the way they played. So it was a frustrating thing for us to act that way.
Yeah, you mentioned the defensive performance after a while. They had a couple of really big plays early on, but it seemed like you cleaned that up as the game went on and didn't let them have big plays after the first couple drives.
You know what? The defense, the drive that hurt us was the last drive of the first half, where they went about 90 yards in about 4 or 5 minutes. That was huge. That kind of killed us, but it didn't end the game. I mean, as bad as it was, offensively we came out and we had a chance, and we didn't get it done. I mean, we had a drive. I don't even remember which drive was which, but the one that we fumbled going in, that hurt us badly. But we had a penalty, I think, in the second half on that first drive, which if we get points there or get a touchdown there, it changes the game.
Do you think it's a confidence thing, per se, with what happened last week, losing the game like that, a couple of block kicks, and coming into this week? Because it seemed like it kind of started slow and then kind of got going as the game went on a little bit, but offensively it was a struggle all night. Do you think it's a confidence thing right now?
I think it's a little bit. I think, you can't help but lose your confidence when you're finding different ways to lose football games. You listen to what people are saying about you as opposed to just believing what you've already accomplished in most of these guys' cases. These guys have accomplished great things. But we also, we've got a young quarterback who probably had his worst game of the year.
Along those lines, I assume sticking with Jake as the season goes on. He had 2 picks tonight, but he's been pretty solid up until tonight.
Yeah, you know what? We've got to look at those picks, and we got to see why. I think that more than anything else, we were impatient, because a couple of times, and we talked about it, we had some guys open short, and we kept trying to go, and this is what happens when you struggle. You try to score a touchdown on every play. Mm-hmm. And it's opposed to giving it to the guy who's open and letting him get as much as he can and doing it again and again and again.
Does it see, not to make light of it, but next week we're playing Davenport here at home. They're undefeated. They won today in overtime. I would say it's 3 straight weeks you're playing undefeated football teams. How do you regroup and get ready for next week?
Well, I mean, it's football. You go back to practice. You go back to the drawing board and you figure out what each guy can do best and put them in a position where they do it best, and then work real hard to develop confidence, that they can develop confidence in themselves and in each other.